Hello ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome once again to my channel. My name is Michael and I'm here to take you along the VIM project on ALX. Okay, I'm going to be jumping straight into what VIM is all about and how to solve the problem and the task, but remember, like you have always been told, you shouldn't always pay attention to copying somebody's work or trying to just do copy and paste. My main objective of creating these videos is to ensure that at least you are able to understand what you are doing, not just doing and solving the questions, but solving it and at the same time understanding what you are doing. Okay, like if you have watched my other video on Emacs, then this video should be very easy for you to follow along with. And if you have also watched that video on Emacs, even without you watching this video, you should be able to solve this Vim project. But I'm just making this video for some people that still say that since Vim is a new text editor, that I should make a video on it. Okay, like we already know, VI or Vim, like we already know, is also a text editor, just like Emacs. It's very customizable, just like Emacs. Okay, so but there are kind of two different programs that does basically the same thing. Okay, with some few differences, like their commands are different, the way you do copy and paste are different. Okay, but there are things also that you definitely need to also understand. And what is that? When I said in other video that copying and cutting and even pasting, they mean different things in Vim. So to copy means to yank and to cut means to delete. Okay, while pasting means putting, and these all are being carried out with different commands, unlike the Emacs. Now, I wouldn't be stressing too much on this. I've got a very useful resource where you can just go and practice along with Vim, and I'll be dropping the link also in the description of this video. So you can visit this URL, openvim.com, and this particular page you can practice Vim in real time. Once you open it, you see what it looks like. You can actually keep this keyboard in 3D. So this is basically for you to practice Vim. All right, just read along and follow along whatever thing they're telling you to do here. So this is where you can learn Vim very easily. Basically, the Vim has two modes, which is the normal mode or the command mode, and it also has the insert mode. The insert mode is the mode where you can now start typing in text. You can start inserting characters, that is text and numbers, into a file. Okay, while the normal mode is the command mode where you can actually execute some commands or execute some code. Since Vim actually most of its command is with the keyboard, unlike Emacs, you see that Emacs has options. In the previous video, if you have watched it, it has options like the file option, the edit, and all that you can actually access using the F10. The Vim does not have anything like this. Every command is with the keys you see on your keyboard. So that's why if you want to execute some commands, you definitely have to be on the normal mode, and they made it very easy for you to switch between these modes. So you can actually switch into the normal mode using escape key, or switch to the insert mode using the I key. Okay, so this is what this command looks like. This place, you can always play around with it and you just see how they explain everything for you, and at the end of the day they will tell you to maybe press one or two buttons and you play along with it. They'll also take you along to see all the commands. Then if you feel like you have already learned enough and you want to practice your hand, you want to practice, then you can just visit this practice tab here. Okay, so on this practice tab, you are going to see some context, some commands here, and they just always be very patient to read everything that is said, because you are learning, you don't want to miss anything. Okay, so here you see that, okay, if you press D, you see the list of blah blah, and all these things here are they're talking about this context area at the end of here. So you can see different commands. You use H to move left, use J to move down, K is to move up, while L is to move right. Okay, you can switch to insert mode using the letter I on your keyboard. You can move word by word using W, B, E, G, E, and all of that. For example, now if I hit W on my keyboard, you see that my cursor actually moved to I, which is the starting point of the next word. If I press it again, this is. I can decide to combine this. Maybe I want to jump three words. I want to jump to the third word from this current position now. For instance, I want to jump to E. That is three words apart, right? I will just hit 3 and W, and I'm there immediately. So this is how you can navigate. Just play around and study with this, and you'll be able to get very acquainted with Vim. To me, I still prefer to work with Emacs anyway. I still prefer to work with Emacs, but you might want to work with Vim because it is very simple somehow. Okay, but just come to this place and play around. So if you now understand what this Vim is very well, and you can do a lot with it, you should be able to solve these problems here very easily. Okay, you should be able to solve the problems here very easily. All right, so and let's take a look. Now you should be able to know how to edit text, how to do cut and paste and all of that. And if you have also watched my video on the Linux, the first video I did on shell, you should be, and you understood it very well, then creating all these files that they mentioned here wouldn't be a problem for you. Just like normal, I have already connected my terminal to the sandbox. Okay, you can see I'm actually in the sandbox right now, and I've already moved into my, because I've already done this. Let me just clear this screen and start afresh. Like I said, you can use the clear command to clear your screen, or you can hit Ctrl L, whichever. Okay, so I'll just do cd /. Let me just come back here to show you that I'm actually inside the sandbox. You can see this, that means I'm in the sandbox, right? So I'm navigating back to my cd, to my root, I mean. So root, and you can see that I'm inside the root directory right now. And inside the root directory, they're asking you to create a folder, which normally you do by just saying make directory, and then the name of the folder, which is oxo, okay, 3_vi. All right, I'm not going to hit enter on this because it's something that I've already done. Okay, so I've already done that, and then for me to just quickly write most of these other codes, I always like to be in that folder because that is my answer directory. So I always like to move into that place. So I'll just do cd oxo3_vi. Okay, and when I hit enter, right there. Okay, so now what is the command to do inserting? So if I have done this, and if I check my code, I've already done it anyway, I'm not redoing it. So but if I check my code, you can see that it's already done. I've already passed this code. Okay, now let's just jump into these other ones now. So we have inserting, right? So on this inserting part of it, normally you switch to insert mode using the I. So all you need to do for this is just to do echo I, and then this command, and then put it into inserting. Okay, I'm not going to hit enter on this because I already have it. So but this is just what you need to write. Okay, that's just what you need to write, echo I, and just this. Then that means it is going to create a file. It's going to create a file called inserting, and it is going to put I, like it's going to echo is just like saying print, like echo something, say something. So but in this context, is trying to kind of echo the I into this file called inserting. Okay, so if I hit enter, that's what's going to happen. Now for you to see that I already have it, if I do cat inserting and I hit enter, you can see that I have I right inside that particular place. So that is it. So the same thing, in the same vein, you can actually do the cutting. Now, like I always advise, always try to learn to do same thing in multiple ways. That is how you show that you already know this thing. Try to do things in multiple ways. Now I know that a lot of people will want to just be doing echo, like for this one they said cutting, you want to still do echo, and then because you know that to cut is to just use the D, you just do echo D and then this and cutting. Yeah, it will still work. Definitely it will work and you'll pass your code. But what if you just try something different and do something like VIM, or you can even just do VI as the shortcut, VI, and then you just create the file, which is cutting, right? When you want to just do VI cutting, whether it exists or not, it's going to open. If it does not exist, it is going to create a new file called cutting. but if it already exists, it is going to open it. So mine already exists. So if I just hit enter on this, you can see that I'm actually inside the file called cotton. Okay, now you see that there is dd there. Now if you have been reading this, if you are reading the documentation of vim, or that is vim, you will notice that we have a command called d. I'll be dropping other resources that you might be needing. We have a command called d, which actually cuts a certain character, but dd actually cuts that entire line. So if your cursor is on line 1, maybe you have like line 1, line 2, line 3, and for example, I want to, let me just demonstrate what I mean here. I want to start typing in something here, so I will just press the I key, and you can see that it has changed to insert mode. Now let's assume that I move to the next line and I want to type some things inside here, and I want to type another thing inside here, right? Okay, I type another thing inside here. Then I want to move back to my command, so I will just hit escape. Right now, with escape, I'm now in the normal mode. Right, I'm now in the normal mode with escape. Now let's just move our cursor. You cannot move your cursor here. You can, like if you're on your laptop, you can move your cursor with your arrow keys, or you can actually make use of the letters, the H and the J, and all of them to move around. Okay, fine and good. So now I want to copy everything that is inside. I want to cut it off. I want to cut it. So if I hit dd on this line, dd, you see that it is cut, right? Now I want to paste this dd somewhere else, and I come to this place. I will just hit p, and you see that it has already pasted it. Now it pasted it before the line. I want to undo this, so I'll just hit u, and that is undo. Now what if I do capital letter P? You see that it inserted it above this other line here, right? It inserted it above this other line. So this is how you test run what you are doing, just to be sure that you know what you are doing, right? So I'm going to hit insert again, because this time around I want to delete everything that I have written here. So I'm going to just delete everything. Probably I'll use my escape key, hit dd here. Okay, let me just move to this line here, and I hit dd, and I move to this other and I hit dd. Okay, now I've cut out everything inside here, right? So at this point I can actually save. Now how do I save? Now that I'm still in the command mode, to save is just colon and w. That is to save, right? Colon and w is to save. But what if I want to save and quit? Because colon q is to quit. So I can combine the two commands together, which is save and quit. So colon w and q, I will quit, right? I will save it and quit this place if I want to quit. But maybe I don't want to quit here, but I just want to save. I can just hit enter on this, and I have saved this, right? You can see that I have saved it. And notice that it is showing me at the bottom here that I have three lines. I have three lines. Yes, I have three lines because the first line contains dd, and the second line is empty. I cut out what is inside it, and the third line is also empty. So I can hit insert on this. Maybe I don't want all those lines, and I just go back, and I'm having only one line, and then I hit escape again to come back to normal mode. Then I can just simply do control colon and then w to save it again. Okay, and you see that now I have just one line at this bottom. Now please pay attention to this. ALX already told us that every code we will be writing, every damn code we'll be writing, we are not going to be making use of VS Code or whatever, because everything you are doing is supposed to be on the sandbox, and that sandbox only has the CLI. So it's better for you to learn Emacs or learn VIM and know them very well. It is going to help you in this program very much. It's going to help you. So that is just that. So now I'm going to quit, and to quit is colon q. Okay, and I hit enter on this, and I quit my vim. Now I have already done this. So this is how you can actually create files in vim, either by simply typing this thread, either by simply typing echo, then the answer to the stuff, then putting this, and then the name of the file. Okay, the name of the file. you can actually do it this way and it will work for you. Just that's just how it is. I don't want to just I want if you are able to do this thing by yourself, believe me, you're going to be very happy with yourself. This Vim project, I see it to be like the simplest of all the projects. So please just try and see how you fix it up, but never hesitate to contact me if you're having any issues or any technical challenges of whatsoever. I'll be very glad to assist you. So but this is how we do it. Okay, now another so just follow that same process and do all these things, right? Okay, now the shortcut to save the shortcut sorry the command, so what is the command to paste the lines in the buffer into the text? I just demonstrated it now when I used the capital letter P and small letter p. So capital letter P we paste before, while small letter p we paste after the selected line. Okay, so you just take note of that. So that means for this number 3, the command that you're going to use to paste here is small letter p. Just write that answer into a file called pasting. You already see how I did it. And then for this number 4, we have this undoing, okay, which I said already that it is you as the command. So just save that you inside the file called undoing. Follow the process that I already give you. And to quit or to exit here is when you want to exit is just the colon and then the q. Okay, so like I showed you, if I come to this place, you see I have exiting, so I'll just say cat exiting, and you can see the answer that I have inside here. Now for you to type this thing inside that place, all you need to do is just echo, and then I can decide to pass it inside a string. Remember that's what we call a string. I think we'll still be getting to that. So colon and the q, then close the string and then pass this and then put the exiting, that's the file name. And when you hit enter on this, that automatically is going to put it inside there. So cat exiting, and you see that we have q right inside there. And then how do you get to the beginning of a line or to the end of a line? To get to the beginning of a line, all you need is just shift plus e. So the same way you can just do echo shift, use put a string like this, sorry, echo then put this and then shift plus 6. That's the command. Shift 6 will move you to the beginning of the line. Okay, and then pass this and move it beginning. Okay, beginning of the line. So that's how you solve this particular one. Okay, I'm not gonna hit enter on that. I've already done that. So when you're done, you just hit your cat and then beginning of. Now I have only one beginning here, so I can actually hit tab, my tab key, to complete the final. I don't need to type too much. Okay, and you see it's completed already, so I'll just hit enter, and you can see that I have shift plus 6 inside that file. Okay, you can see it, I have shift plus 6 right inside this file. And the same thing goes for the uh, end of the line. So if I do cat end of the line, let me see what I have inside there. You already know how to write it inside there, right? I really trust you already know that. I really trust you already know how to do that. So if I hit tab on this, and hit enter, you can see it's shift E. So with shift E you are able to move to the end of the line, and with shift 6 you are able to move to the beginning of the line. And that is basically what it takes to solve the Vim problem. Very simple and very easy. Do well to just share your comments with me. Tell me where you are finding it difficult, and I'll be very glad to assist you. Thank you for watching. Remain blessed and happy coding.